is what unions are fighting for across the country. You know, they're fighting for things like being able to retire with dignity. They're fighting to, you know, be able to have dignity at work and have good pay and stuff like this. And that is threatening to the companies and the politicians that they buy. And so they don't like it. They don't like workers having some sort of autonomy or some sort of power. And this wasn't at the Republican presidential debate, but it did come out at a forum that Nikki Haley was at last week. And it was regarding economic development in North Carolina. And so listen to what she said about her approach to economic development.
But you know, the other thing that we did that was really important was I didn't want any company to come to South Carolina if they were unionized. I would not. We never wanted a unionized company. I didn't want them to taint our water at all.
Wow. We didn't want anyone in South Carolina to get the wrong idea that they might could join together and actually have better wages and benefits. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty absurd. Not often that they're that explicit with it,
Right.
but it is certainly the approach. And, you know, that's kind of been a theme of the show today, talking about economic development and how, you know, the bosses and politicians here in the South in particular, that's what they're selling, right, is a hostility to unions, low wages, lesser educated workforce that has less options with lower expectations.
Right.
Regulations that are lax or absent, regulators that are non-existent or bought and paid for.
Yeah.
You know, that's what they're promoting as a quote-unquote business-friendly climate, right, that they need for economic development, so to speak. When it's a shame because there's so many ways to have economic development that actually comes from the side of labor and supporting the people, right? Because what they promote is this economic development from the side of capital, but when we have economic development from the side of labor, we are supporting the people. We the people, the majority, the vast majority that are working class, you know, the most diverse class of people. And, you know, there's just so many ways, whether it's prevailing wage, the project labor agreements, and those kind of issues we talked about earlier with the building trades, or whether it's retirement pensions, you know, this paid leave, all these different ways in which we can do economic development that actually supports people and improves their lives. And, you know, it's a disgrace. It's really a disgrace.
Absolutely a disgrace. She said this at The Gathering, which was a conference co-hosted by syndicated conservative talk radio host Eric Erickson and hardworking Americans. Not actual hardworking Americans, but that is the name of a political action committee founded by non-union construction boss Brian Kemp. Every serious Republican presidential contender not named Donald Trump is scheduled to speak at the event in Atlanta. And so this is from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. And so, yeah, really, and so, you know, that's the audience that she was speaking to. And it's just so, I mean, really, really, I mean, it's amazing how they're, you know, they are so hostile to workers having any sort of power in this economy that they don't, you know, they don't want any sort of, you know, worker power to taint their waters. Yeah, pretty gross stuff.
Taint their waters. Wow. We wouldn't want to be polluted with all those highfalutin ideas like defined benefit and a paid lunch break.
Yeah.
Or a mandatory water break, God forbid.
You just saw a clip from the Valley Labor Report. We are live every Saturday morning from 9:30 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. And we pride ourselves on keeping all of our content free to everybody so that we can talk to as many working folks as possible. If you support the work that we're doing, you think that it's important, you think that it's good, then consider making a monthly contribution to the project, and you can do that on our website, tvlr.fm.